Get ready to immerse yourself in a world of vision, inspiration, belonging, and empowerment. Brought to you by Naturals2Go, the VIBECast is your gateway to realizing your entrepreneurial dreams. In each episode, we're here to ignite your entrepreneurial spirit, offering you the tools and insights you need to turn your dreams into reality. We're all about fostering a powerful vision, sparking inspiration, nurturing a sense of belonging, and providing the empowerment you need to thrive. So sit back, relax, and get ready to dive into the vibe. It's time to take your entrepreneurial journey to the next level. Thank you for joining us, and let's start living the vibe.
Hey folks, welcome to a VIBEcast sponsored by Naturals2Go Healthy Vending. My name is Linda Ballesteros and I am your host today. Thanks so much for finding some time in your busy day to spend with us. I know that time is that one commodity that you just can't get back. So when someone spends time with you, be sure to honor that. Today, we are wrapping up our series on veterans as we honor veterans during the month of November. And I recently read an article. The title of the article was Common Challenges Military Veterans Face When Transitioning Back to Civilian Life. One of those challenges that they have kind of surprised me a little bit. And then when I thought about it, it really didn't surprise me. They struggle with joining or creating community. You know, they've had the community of their Army, their Air Force. They've had their community with the service and the military, but they don't know how to create that. They don't know how to find that when they get out into the civilian life. So today our guest is Brian Fuery, and Brian is a retired Air Force veteran. And today he actually heads up the Vets and Vending division and program for Naturals2Go Healthy Vending. Brian, thanks so much for being with us today.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for your service, for what you do with Naturals2Go. And also, thank you for spotlighting us veterans, because we definitely know that we're not forgotten.
Absolutely. And you're not forgotten. And that's one of the wonderful things that I love about Naturals2Go is that they have created this program that totally supports the owner-operators who are veterans and want to become entrepreneurs. Brian, before we get started on your role with Naturals2Go, tell me a little bit about your history in the service. How long were you in the service? What were some of the duties that you performed?
Okay, so I was in the Air Force, and there are a lot of, I probably wore as many hats as anybody does in the military, from logistics to chem warfare to just any and everything, research, you name it. I was kind of a jack of all trades, as I am with Naturals2Go now. But I've helped a number of people in a number of situations that were permissive and non-permissive. So it was truly not always the easiest of jobs, but it was a mission that I performed always to the best of my duty and also honorably.
Well, we certainly thank you for your service. How long were you in the military?
So I was in about 4 years. Long story short, I got out of the military and I had an opportunity to go to school while I was in the military. When I was in the Air Force, I was stationed at MacDill Air Force Base. I had an opportunity to go to school and do really well. Through the Air Force's program, I got a degree from the Community College of the Air Force, which also helped me transition to apply to colleges, civilian colleges like Florida State and the University of Miami. Through the Air Force, I was accepted to both. I chose to go to the University of Miami. I had an opportunity to get a degree in sports medicine and psychology, and also play a little bit of football and run some track.
Mm-hmm. Well, it definitely sounds like the work ethic that you acquired in the military certainly helped to carry you through with your sports and with the going to school as well.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and you couldn't have said it better. My biggest competition was always myself, and so I always looked at myself first. And if things went good, I thanked my team. If things went bad, I looked at myself, and
Yeah.
and I wanted to make sure that I was part of the solution.
Well, Brian, I know we've had conversations before, and you definitely have an entrepreneurial mindset. And that is something that is, I believe, that with a military background, that is certainly something that makes a very successful entrepreneur. So when you look at your military background, how does that serve you as you have your own business and you grow your own business?
Sure. So besides Naturals2Go, I have 3 other businesses, and my work ethic really started with planning and preparation, which I learned quite a bit while I was in the Air Force. Remember, I went to the Air Force when I was relatively young, and I was definitely, I would say, not necessarily ready, mature-wise for college, but the Air Force really helped, the military in general really helped me learn how to plan, learn how to prepare, and most importantly, learn how to prevail. And my work ethic in the Air Force transferred very significantly because of my time management skills. And that's, I really learned time management skills. And I also learned that, if you were on time, you were late. So you got to be early up and atoms for everything. And so that was a really invaluable lesson I learned. So.
Brian, that is exactly what my father used to tell me. If you are on time, you're late. Yep. And he came out of the military. So smart maybe man, that is man. A belief.
Smart man. He raised a smart daughter too.
So let's now talk a little bit about your role with Naturals2Go. At what point did Naturals2Go see that there was a need for someone like yourself to help with their military veterans?
Well, it's very interesting because it just so happened to be, I like to call it fate or serendipity, if you will, that I got an opportunity to meet Heath, the owner, through a set of circumstances that only was out of had to be out of a storybook. And it was really, we were absolutely not talking about Naturals2Go. I was coaching with his brother in the World Championships, and I had a passport issue, and I needed to go to Buffalo to get a passport. And it just so happened that they couldn't print my passport out until Monday, and I got there Friday. I was supposed to go to Spain on Friday, so I had to change my ticket. They shut the machines down early, and his brother, Haas, actually said, "Hey, my brother is in Buffalo. Give him a call. Maybe you guys can have lunch." Well, just so happened that I gave him a call, and we were going to have lunch, and I said, "Well, I'm going to have to stay in a hotel because I need to wait to get my passport." He said, "Absolutely not. You're family with me, so you're going to stay at my place. I've got my son's having a birthday party. Hey, you hang out with him and teach him how to play a little chess, and you're good with me." And I knew right then and there. I said, I'd already heard really great things about Heath, but right then and there, he just became my brother because that's exactly what I would have done. Mm-hmm. So, long story short, he and I just got to talking about Naturals2Go, and I just asked him, I said, I've got to ask you, what is this Naturals2Go? And he explained, to me what it was and the opportunity here. And I said, well, do you all have a veterans division? And he said, well, no, we don't. And I said, well, why not? And he said, that's a good question. Maybe you should answer that. And so I said, well, maybe I will. So how about that? So I was thinking about this when I finally got my passport and I was finally on my way to Turkey, from Spain to Turkey, Turkey to Germany, Germany to France, and through all these countries, I kept thinking to myself about Naturals2Go and thinking about this division that I would ultimately create for veterans. So my opportunity to help veterans, which is something I've always wanted to do, was always potential, but it was never kinetic because I didn't have a vehicle in order to reach back and to bring veterans who were struggling to the forefront to where they would be able to feed their families.
That's and that's a great story, Brian, because it just spotlights the culture of this company, right?
Absolutely. It was the perfect vehicle if I could help veterans to be able to feed their families. I feel like I would have the opportunity to help with some of the issues and some of the PTSD and some of the issues that I had coming out of the military, transitioning to civilian life. I was very fortunate that I went straight to college, but many veterans don't have that opportunity. And so they don't know how to feed their families and they don't know what they're going to do for the rest of their life. And with Naturals2Go, this is a vehicle where they can now be able to feed their families and be able to pass on generational income and generational work ethic.
I love that phrase, generational income. I love that phrase there, Brian. So when you're working with one of the new owner operators and their military, what are some of the services or how do you support those owner operators as a military veteran yourself?
Okay, well, first and foremost, anybody comes into that doorway, they are family, whether you're civilian or military. But specifically with the veterans, I like to make sure, number one, they have my direct line. So from the moment they walk in, they know that there's going to be somebody there at the gate waiting for them and to help them through any situation or circumstances that they may encounter, with Naturals2Go. That's number one. Number two, we are going to have a banner on their machines so that the business owner knows that every nickel that's going into this machine is directly going to help veteran families. That's number two. Number three, they will also take a picture with me and we'll also take pictures together so that we can recognize other veterans and also build that network. We also have veterans from past classes because, we're there every 5 weeks. So there's always veterans there. I believe our last class we had 146 years combined of service.
Wow.
And so we're growing and we're everywhere. And so the opportunity to help each other only compounds monthly. So it's really exciting. I'm really excited to be able to help veterans be better than what they thought they could be.
So, Brian, why is it important to veterans? As a veteran, if I was looking at Naturals2Go as an opportunity to build a business, why would it be important for me to align myself with Naturals2Go, knowing that there is a Vets in Vending program? What does it do for me as a veteran?
Well, first and foremost, when everyone who was a veteran went through basic training, right? Mm-hmm. So basic training, we all had to bind together and we all had to figure out how to pass, how to graduate and accomplish the mission. Once you get out of basic training and you go to your duty station, you have a duty to your brother and your sister next to you. So many times, whether you're on the front lines, whether you're downrange, whether you're in support, you're always fighting for the brother and sister that's next to you. And, each one helps another. And so when a veteran comes out of the military, that's all they know is teamwork. They know how to accomplish a mission. What Naturals2Go really does for the veteran is it reverse engineers that togetherness and that family and that culture and that tradition, so that each one is helping another, that we're all locking arms together and we're saying, listen, if you're going to go through it, you're not going to do this alone. Most of the owner operators, they already know what they know about the machines. They know about the technology, and they're reaching back and they're helping these veterans, and they're helping people to be able to feed their families. And there's no better mission than to look to the right of you and to look to the left of you, and to know that you actually have an opportunity to help everybody around you, and they help you.
So do you find yourself having conversations maybe with veterans who are trying to make the decision as to whether to join Naturals2Go? Do you have some conversations with them prior to them making that decision?
Yes, actually I do. What I like to do with specifically with veterans is when I have their information, I like to just give them a call. And first of all, if there's one thing I learned in the military, is I learned how to listen. Okay. So, and I work on being a better listener every day. So the first thing I ask them if, are there any questions that you possibly have for me, what it is that I do, and things that you've been thinking about since you've gotten an opportunity to first Google Vending or Naturals2Go. Just ask me anything. It doesn't have to be about Naturals. Ask me what my favorite team is. Ask me, about the Air Force versus the Marines, the Chow Halls. Everybody knows about that. And so I always enjoy icebreakers. People often know that I speak different languages, so they want to know, how did I learn different languages? I tell them the same thing I tell you, Linda. I learned by listening. And so yeah. And as a matter of fact, I just got off of a call from a gentleman who had asked me about inventory, and he asked me about how do I pass this, how I'm able to pass my business down to my sons, to my nephews. I've got 3 nephews, I've got a son, and they all help with my business. They help me in many different ways. Sometimes they're going to Costco or BJ's, and they're helping with my inventory. Sometimes they're going, and just asking me, what it is that they can do to help out. But they're learning how to be managers of themselves. And I explained to them, as you learn to manage yourself, then you can learn to manage a business. And I can see it spilling over into their personal life. I can see them, even the ones that are in high school that are doing homework, they want to learn how to manage their time, manage themselves. And then, if they're lucky, then they can come over and help manage my business.
Mm-hmm. It really is a great model for families. You talked about being able to leave generational income to your family. It really is a simple business model, isn't it? That is easy to include family.
Well, the great thing about Naturals2Go, and specifically with Vets and Vending and what we do at Naturals2Go, is it's not inorganic chemistry. I mean, in inorganic chemistry, there are formulas and models and things of that nature. Listen, this is semi-unattended retail, and that is what the world is trending towards right now. Mm-hmm. I know. Because I get my mom's Amazon bill, so I'm she's, I'm definitely getting that one, and it's convenient, and this is, whether it's EV, whether it's these machines, whether it's coffee machines, whether it's checkout lines, everything is trending towards this way, and the opportunity to not only have your own business, but to be successful and to be able to scale up and to have the support behind you if you want to scale up. I mean, 2 and 2 make 4. They don't. Yeah. 2 and 2 doesn't make 17. It makes 4, and it's as basic and as simple as that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Brian, we're getting close to the end of the show. If there's a veteran listening right now, and they've thought about looking into Naturals2Go a little bit further as an opportunity for them to start a business or a side hustle or whatever, what kind of advice would you like to share with them? What would you like to leave them with?
Well, for me, if there was one particular word that I would describe Naturals2Go, is a family. Okay. And in any family, sometimes you're going to have your ups and downs. There's always going to be that one drunk uncle and things of that nature. And it's always fun at holidays, right? But one thing that's really great about family is culture and history and the opportunity to help one another. If there was any advice I would give to any veteran out there, is just come and take a look, and you don't have to make any decisions. We're just trying to give you an opportunity to help you out and give you another option. And when you see the authenticity of the people that want to help you to be successful, that is one thing I can tell you. And I've done just about every job in different parts of the world and things of that nature. Never have I worked for a company that didn't feel like a company. It didn't feel like it. Like, people actually care about you and they want to see you successful. And the only way that they win is if you're successful. And so any veteran that's listening out there, I can tell you, get ready, because, when you hear about why it is we do what we do, the answer really is you. We want you to be successful. And it's just as simple as that. And the more successful you are, the more you're going to tell your friends, and the better off we're all going to be, because the business really sells itself, but the family and the support is something that I've never encountered quite like this.
I agree 100% with that, Brian. I came out a 30 plus year career in corporate, and I've never seen the support that this company shows, not only for their employees and their owner operators that are coming in, but it does feel like a family. It does feel that everyone wants everyone else to succeed. Yeah. And we do our best to make that happen. Absolutely.
And I've recruited people. I've recruited owner operators. I've talked to them and said, just come and take a look. And you have nothing to lose. Got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Nothing to lose but headaches. You know what I mean? You lose headaches. Hey, that's not a bad thing to lose,
Yeah,
So.
Yeah, absolutely. Brian, thanks so much for taking time out of your busy day and for doing what you do to support the veterans and to help them to maybe create something that they may have been hesitant to do otherwise. Sure. But just knowing that we support them. Yeah.
Well, truly, it's really my pleasure, and I'm never too busy to listen.
Yeah,
so
very good. Thank you so much. Well, folks, I love to leave you with a quote, and this one is by Kristen Jones, and it goes like this: "Community is the foundation to success." And I think Naturals2Go could have actually written that quote, but it truly is our philosophy that community is what builds success. So thanks so much for joining me this time on VIBECast, and look forward to seeing you next time. In the meantime, let's live the vibe.
That's a wrap for this episode of the VIBECast. We hope you've been inspired and empowered on your entrepreneurial journey. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow us on all your favorite platforms to stay connected with the Vibe community. Until next time, keep nurturing that strong vision, fueling your inspiration, and embracing a sense of belonging and empowerment. Your dreams are within reach, so keep living the vibe.